Live stream. My name is Alicia, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about some important words you need to know that are school related. The spring is a time of year when many people in many countries start school, go back to school, or just talk about school in their families. So this week we're going to take a look at some school life related vocabulary words. So a few points about this today. We're going to talk about starting school, like the beginning of the school period. Maybe your country has a different schedule, but many countries do begin school around now at the beginning of April. And we're also going to talk about how we describe our feelings as we begin school as students, okay? So we're going to talk a lot about some key vocabulary words today. We're going to look a lot at some specific words we use only in school situations, like what you call a first-year student, for example. So I hope that today's lesson is useful, whether you are a student now, or you have someone in your family who is a student, or you're thinking about becoming a student. Also, these words are useful when reading the news, too, about beginning the school year, okay? So as you join, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and, of course, share this lesson so other people can find it. That would be great. I will come to say hello in the chat in just a moment when everybody joins, but while we wait, I am now invisible. You can see there is a free PDF ebook. You can see this banner at the bottom of the screen that has the 2,000 core words of English. The 2,000 core words of any language are the most commonly used words for everyday communication. So if you want to get the English Class 101 free core words PDF ebook, this one here, you can download this from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You need your name and your email address to create a free account. You can log in and then download this for free. You can put it on your phone, you can put it on your desk, you can put it on your computer, wherever is convenient for you to practice some vocabulary. Okay, so let's go. Let me check the chat. Now you can maybe see me. Okay, good. So hello everyone on YouTube. Hi Jefferson, what's up? Hey Patrick. Kasha, what's up? Natalie, Nahora, Isaac, hey. Ivan, Kashaf, hello. HP Pa, hello. Hume, Kashaf from Pakistan, what's up? Facebook, I don't see Facebook chats, but I see some people in Facebook. Hey Facebook, what's up? Let's begin. We have a lot, as always, so make sure to like and let's go. The first word for today is enroll. To enroll. This is a verb, okay? To enroll means to register or sign up for a school or a course. We use the word to enroll when we talk about registering or beginning university or graduate school. You can also use this when you talk about beginning a class in your community. You can say, I decided to enroll in a cooking class, or I enrolled in a language class. So to enroll, this verb, means to register for a school or a course. So if you are a student now, like university or high school, you can use this to say, I'm enrolled in school type. So you can use the preposition in. I'm enrolled in course. Yeah? I'm enrolled in course, or I'm enrolled in school. Please note, we use this preposition here. I'm enrolled in blah, blah, blah. Or I'm not enrolled in school now. That's my case. I'm not enrolled in a class right now, okay? So you can use the preposition in when you want to talk about your situation for school and classes. Okay, let's look at an example. Have you enrolled for the new semester? That means, have you registered for the new semester? I'll come to this word in a moment, semester. Have you enrolled for the new semester? Yes. I enrolled last week and completed the paperwork, okay? So here we have the verb again. I enrolled, past tense, I registered, or I joined the school, right? Okay, let's look at a few more key words here. Have you enrolled for the new semester? Semester is a word we use usually in school situations. Depending on your school year may have different time periods in the year. Maybe you have a winter season and a summer season. Or maybe you have 4 different times of year. Maybe you have what's called a trimester system. There are 3 time periods in the year. But semester is a little bit more generally used, I feel, to talk about the next grouping of lessons. So for example, a semester could be a 3-month period. This is very common, and this is we often would call this a trimester, but I won't complicate it. Semester, for example, means the next group of classes. So the next class period in the year. For example, April, May, and June. That might be one group of classes. After June, you go to the next semester. So semester is like the period, the time period for classes. That's the kind of unusual name that we use to talk about groups of classes over maybe 3 or 4 months, right? So we might say, like now, in the northern hemisphere, we can say it's the start of spring semester, yeah? And then maybe at your school, you have a summer semester, and maybe an autumn semester, winter semester, maybe, depending on your school. So a semester means the time period for that class, okay? All right, let's go. Hello, everybody who's joining. Hello, Rosa and Mishan. Hello from Ohio. What's up? Okay, let's, yes, this next point. I enrolled last week and completed the paperwork. So when you enroll in a class, usually you have to finish some paperwork. You have to write your personal information on some papers and give it to the school. So you joined the school, you finished all the registration paperwork. That's what this means. Okay, good. Let's continue to the next word then. We have 2. So this is not one phrase. We have enter school or matriculate, okay? I would say in American English, we usually use the word enter school or start school. This means to begin attending a school formally. So we use this for usually a university or higher education, we usually say. So we can say it for high school or university, especially for like a private high school or a special kind of high school, maybe a trade school also. So in casual conversation, we usually say enter school, yeah? So to start, to begin going to the school, yeah? So I entered school in the autumn, or I entered the school last fall. You can also use matriculate, but this is less common in everyday conversation. This one is more formal sounding. This is the word you will see on documents that come from the school. So we don't use this word very often in everyday conversation. We use this word when we check the paperwork that we use to enroll in the school. It will say, for example, student will matriculate, or the date of matriculation, so meaning when you enter the school. So this one is less commonly used. We talk about entering school or beginning school in everyday communication, but it can be important to know this. Okay, all right. Hello, everybody joining. Hi, Hugo and Sawalif from Morocco. What's up? Okay, let's look at an example now of this, okay? So, when will you enter school? When will you enter school? I'll enter school in April and start classes then, okay? So this is maybe an important point for you depending on your country's school system. Notice this person says, I'll enter school in April. So they join the school in April and start classes then. So then means in April at that time. So it might mean you join your university and then maybe the next month is the point to start classes. Maybe your system is a little different, but in U.S. schools, in many U.S. schools, it's very common to join the school, finish the paperwork, and then begin classes very quickly after that, within a few weeks. Okay, let's continue to our next word then. The next one is freshman. Freshman. Maybe you've heard this word before. A freshman is a first-year student at a school or university. Very important. We only use freshman for high school and universities. We do not use this for elementary and junior high schools. We don't use this for little kids, okay? We only use this for high school age students and up. First year students only. There are also words for second year, third year, and fourth year students, maybe less important. But freshman, we can break this down. It's kind of funny. Freshman. You are fresh. You just started. So you don't know a lot, right? So we don't say freshman. I broke it down like that just now. But freshman. So this sounds like almost an E sound, men, like the plural freshmen. But we can actually make this plural. This is an unusual a noun that we make plural by changing this man to men, just like we do with the noun man, right? So freshman becomes freshmen. The pronunciation sounds exactly the same, so you need to listen to the context. For example, oh my gosh, is that a freshman over there? I said a freshman. And I could say, oh my gosh, those freshmen are so noisy. So you have to listen for the key hint words like and those or these to show that it's singular or plural, okay? Isaac wrote, a beginner is a freshman. Yeah, basically. So if you want to say that someone, for example, just joined your work, if someone is new at your work, you might not say they're a freshman, but you might say they're fresh, yeah, or a fresh hire. So if you want to use this at your job, don't call someone a freshman. You can say that person is a fresh hire or a new hire. They recently started the job, okay? Patrick, can I use freshman for women, only men? Men and women, anyone can be a freshman. I was a freshman. Control desk was a freshman once. We were all freshmen. Everybody who was a first-year student can be a freshman. Anybody can be a freshman. Okay, let's look at an example. Are you a freshman this year? Yes, I'm a freshman, and I'm excited to meet new people. Okay, good example. Are you a freshman this year? This person says, yes, it is my first year, yeah? So this is much more natural. If you say, are you a first-year student? Yes, we can understand, and there's no problem, but freshman is a better word choice, okay? I'm a freshman, and I'm excited to meet new people. Good attitude. Okay, let's continue to the next word. The next word is orientation. Orientation. This is a very important moment for students. Orientation is an introductory meeting for new students to learn about the school, to learn about the rules. So here we have orient as the verb or the root of this. To orient yourself means to understand your surroundings. That's the verb root here, right? To understand the place, to understand the rules, the people in that place. So orientation, this is a noun. This is usually a special meeting only for freshmen or only for new students. Maybe it's a student, third-year student coming from a different school, okay? But this is only for new students, and often their family members, like their parents, might join orientation. For example, there might be a freshman student orientation and a parent orientation. So the parents get information and the students get information. The students learn how to choose classes or the rules for the cafeteria, or they learn about where the activity centers are, for example. Parents might learn different topics, like how to reach the school for an emergency or how to pay money for classes, depending on the school. So orientation is usually required. Usually people have to attend an orientation meeting before they begin school. Okay, so let's take a look at our example sentence. When is the orientation session? Orientation is next Monday at 10 a.m. in the main hall. Okay, so you might hear when is the orientation session, or just when is orientation is also very common. When is orientation? Because we know that means the introduction meeting. So orientation, like here, is next Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, so orientation. We also sometimes have orientation sessions at big companies. Remember how I said a freshman at a company could be called a fresh hire? A new hire or a fresh hire, especially in a group, might attend an orientation session at their company. If the company is very big and they hire, 20 or 30 people at the same time, there's often a company orientation session also to learn the company rules. So orientation is not only for school. This also happens in classes like that you can take in your community and in companies. Okay, let's continue to the next one. Next, new life. New life. This might seem kind of obvious, but this is an important key word for students and for parents, okay? Starting a different routine and environment, right? Like when you move to a new city, or when you leave your family's house, or when your child leaves your home, right? So you have a new life, right? You have some kind of new experience, a big change. So this is an expression you can use not just for school, but also for a job change. If you move to another country or move to another city, if you have a romantic relationship breakup, or maybe you move in together with someone. So this is a good way to express that your life has changed and something is new for you. This is usually a positive expression. If we say, oh, I have a new life, it sounds quite positive, yeah? So you could say, if you want a different kind of feeling, you could say, my life has changed. My life has changed. This one can go in a good direction or a not so good direction. If something bad happened, you could say, oh, my life has changed. Like, things are different now. So this one you can use to have kind of a good feeling or a not so good feeling, depending on your intonation. Okay, all right, let's continue to our example. How do you feel about starting university? Well, I'm nervous but excited. It's a new life for me. It's a new life. So this person expresses, this is something different for my life experience. Okay, all right, let's go to a break. A quick break. If you missed it earlier, the team has this free PDF ebook of the 2,000 core words of English. So the core words of any language are the most commonly used words for everyday communication. If you want to make sure you study the most important words first, you can go and download this from the link below the video, YouTube, or above the video, Facebook. This is at EnglishClass101.com. So check it out. You need just your name and an email address to get it for free. I'll remind you again later. Okay, let's go to the second group then. The next word is homeroom. Homeroom. Homeroom is usually, it depends a little bit on the school in the US, but the homeroom is like your base at the school, okay? A classroom and a time where students meet their homeroom teacher for announcements and attendance, okay? This might be different depending on your school. But in American schools, usually after about junior high school, so when students are maybe 13 years, maybe 12 to 13, about that year, about that age, we don't stay in the same room all day. We move to different classes, to science class, to art class, to music class, right? Homeroom is like the base, right? Where our classmates are, and we all share the same homeroom teacher where we receive announcements and we receive key updates, important things we need to know. Maybe for some schools, the homeroom is like a study session, a study time, or well, it depends on the school. But that's like the place you come back to at the end of the day, or maybe you start the day at your homeroom place, right? So everybody else in your class shares the same homeroom, maybe 30 people or so, okay? So a homeroom is kind of the point, kind of your, like your home base at the school. So this is the key feeling with a homeroom. This is the home you come back to after going to your other classes, your homeroom. I would say in university, we don't really have homerooms, at least in my university experience. Maybe others are different, but homeroom is usually for maybe junior high school or maybe high school. Like in my case, in junior high school and high school, my school system did not have a homeroom system, but this might be different depending on the school you go to, okay? All right, let's continue to the example. Where is homeroom for first-year students? Homeroom is in classroom 101 with Miss Tanaka in this case. So in this situation, there's a specific homeroom space just for the first year or the freshman students, okay? So again, it can be different depending on the school, depending on the system. Okay, let's continue to the next word, club activities. Club activities, this is maybe easier to remember, but this is also a common word we use to talk about club activities. Extracurriculars. Extracurriculars or extracurricular activities, okay? What does that word mean? Oh my gosh, let's break this down. Extra, maybe many of you know extra. This word, curricular, curricular. Curricular means relating to school, okay? Relating to school. That means the subjects you have to study, for example, science, math, like reading, like your language, right? So curricular means it's related to your topics of study. Extra means more or plus, right? So extracurricular activities are other activities you do that are different from studying. For example, playing sports or performing, like performing on stage or playing music. These are really popular examples of extracurricular activities or club activities, okay? So these are really common ones: sports, music, cultural clubs. So that means maybe engineering, building things, working in a shop to make something. These are all different from regular, like study with a book kind of lessons. So, but these are really popular club activities or extracurriculars. We usually say club activities, or we just say the name of the activity. Like when I was a student, I was in school band, the band for all my years, from junior high school through high school. So I would say, I have band practice. So I would say the name of my activity. I didn't say, I have a club activity or I have extracurricular activities. No, it's okay to say the name of it. If it's a sport, like I played sports in high school also, you can say the name of your sport. So you can say, I have, basketball practice after school today, or I have soccer practice after school today. You might, if you want to be vague, if you don't want to be clear, you can say, I have practice after school today. What practice? Only you know. But we usually say the name of the activity. Extracurricular is a more formal word. You see this on a like school letter, something, or like on the school transcript. Like, what did you do? What did you participate in school that year? Okay. All right, time is going quickly, so let's finish up. Are you going to join any club activities? Yes, I want to try the tennis club after orientation. All right, so sometimes the different club activities will have a trial. You can test. You can come, like in this case, to the tennis club. You can come and meet the team, who's there. You can decide which activity you want to join when you go to a school. So that's what this conversation is about. All right, let's continue. Dormitory and dorm. So this is the long version. This is the one, number 2, most people use, dorm. A dorm, we have a typo. A dorm, I didn't catch that, sorry. Student housing. So student housing provided by a school or university. So this is usually a very small room that the student can live in. You may also see a company dorm. Some companies give their workers housing. So a dormitory, this is the long version. Dormitory is quite a long word. Usually in everyday speech, we say dorm. So dorm life, usually in a university, depending on the university, dorm life can be like a big party scene. If it's a serious university, maybe it's a really serious kind of vibe. But usually a dorm life is like lots of parties, lots of chatting with other people, getting to know other people, especially in a freshman dorm. Like freshmen are usually the ones that stay in dorms. It's their first year. They need to meet lots of different people. They need to know the school and the campus. So dorm life, usually the image is that there's lots of parties, lots happening all the time. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at our example. Will you live in the dorm this year? Yes, I'm moving into dorm B with my roommate next Friday. Moving into dorm B. So there might be lots of different dorms on your campus. In my university campus, yeah, I lived in the dorms for the first year, my freshman year. We had many. There were so many, like maybe 10 or so. There were a lot. It was a really big university. So I moved dorms actually one time. I changed roommates, I changed room styles. Okay, so let's go to this one. Determined, because time is going out. Determined, this is an adjective, right? Someone who is determined is someone who has a strong intention to succeed or achieve something. Maybe he looks a little angry in this picture, but being determined usually is kind of positive. We have a goal. We want to achieve the goal and we want to work hard to achieve the goal. So someone who is determined wants to succeed, like this person wants to study and pass the test. So maybe he's thinking really hard. So to be determined is usually a very positive thing. Sometimes we can be determined to do something very stupid, I suppose. Yes, it is possible. For today, it is generally positive in school. We are determined to do something. So the key here, effort, focus, clear goals. Someone who is determined, someone wants to succeed. Let's look at our examples. Any goals for your first semester? Yes, I'm determined to study hard and make friends. Okay, so I'm determined to. Note this preposition. I'm determined to. Okay, I'm determined to do this means my goal is, so I'm going to use lots of effort to study hard and make friends. So that's this person's goal. Also notice this person said your first semester. We talked about semester earlier, the first period or the first group of classes, right? Okay, let's go to class schedule or timetable. This is, I think, pretty easy to understand. When do you have your classes? Is it Monday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Friday? 3 o'clock? 5 o'clock? What? So class schedule means when you have your classes. Timetable is also okay to use. You can use both of them the same. I think I usually just say schedule, not even class schedule, okay? So this is your list of classes. Where is the class? When is the class? Okay? All right, Nathan wrote, I'm determined to finish junior high school. And it paid off well. I'm determined to finish junior high school. So you've got a past tense in, and it paid off well. That, your first part sounds like you are a junior high school student now. Is that true for you, Nathan? I'm determined means you are a junior high school student now. Are you a junior high school student now? Okay, I'm not, I don't know from the example sentence you sent. Okay, let's continue because I am out of time. When is your first class tomorrow? According to my class schedule, my first class is at 9 a.m. in Building C. Okay, so you can say according to my class schedule or just according to my schedule is also okay. All right, let's go. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Let's go to the last part then. I think we've made it. Woohoo! So if you missed it, the team has this core words PDF ebook you can see right here at the bottom right here. Woo! So you can see, you can get that at EnglishClass101.com for free. Go crazy. I'll change this so that you can see actually me. Here we go. Now you're going to see me again. But the team has this. You can get this for free. You just need your name and your email address at EnglishClass101.com to get this free PDF ebook. And then you can focus on vocabulary words like the ones we talked about in today's live lesson. Okay? So I hope this is really helpful for boosting your vocabulary and making sure you study the most important words first. Okay? So today we talked about some different school-related words. I pointed out the ones that are more formal today because some of them, like matriculate, for example, and extracurricular, aren't so common in everyday conversation, but when you enroll in a school, you'll probably receive some paperwork that uses those kinds of words, so it's good to know them, okay? And then you can use this as your homework in the chat, whether you're watching live or later. Can you make a sentence with the vocabulary today? So you can use maybe past tense if you are finished with school. All right? I have to finish. Oh my gosh, I'm mostly kind of only a little bit late today. Woo. So we'll finish there for this week. But next week, I'll be back as usual. Next week, we're going to talk about how to express your feelings in English. So I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it or set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube so you will get a pop-up when we begin this live stream. Okay? So I have to say goodbye for this week. I hope that you have a great day and a great week and a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's live lesson, and I will see you again next time. Bye!